here's the situation from the other side. If in anything I do, I'm very worried about what the outcome is going to be, what you can be sure of is I'm not living in the moment of doing it. So take even something as simple as making a cup of tea. If all I'm thinking about is, oh my God, I hope this tea's not too bitter. Oh my God, I hope there's not enough sugar. Oh my God, what if it's this? What if it's that? I'm not actually present in making a cup of tea. And of course, the more complicated the task goes, I purposely chose something very, very simple. Whatever we do, the only way to do it well is to be present in the moment of doing it. And I'm saying this from a purely practical standpoint, not even from a religious or spiritual standpoint. You can't expect that you're going to be able to perform anything well if you're not present in the moment of actually performing it. And if our mind, in the moment of performing that action, is on either the past, all of the times we've done it and it didn't turn out well, or on the future, what if it doesn't turn out well this time? Then what that means is our mind is not in the moment of actually doing it, which means we're not doing it well. But that doesn't mean that we act without regard. When he says lack of attachment, he doesn't say lack of regard. He doesn't say act in a crazy manner. He doesn't say act recklessly. He doesn't say do stupid things, be decadent, be hedonistic, forget about tomorrow, carpe diem. He didn't say that. What he said is don't be attached to the fruits. Not don't concern yourself with what fruits might come. And the reason I mention this is when we perform an act, obviously we have to think about what's going to be the result of this. If I say something, if I do something, if I plant an apple seed, I have to have an understanding that that apple seed is going to give me an apple tree. Otherwise, I'm moving through my life without paying any attention to what seeds I'm planting. And then I end up with a garden full of apple trees when it turns out I hate apples or I'm allergic to apples. And I wonder why nothing I'm planting is of any use for me. Well, if I've got a garden full of apple trees, I can be very sure that I planted apple seeds. So Krishna's not saying don't be aware. What he's saying is don't be attached to it. And what does that look like in practice? Well, in practice, what it looks like is you have to give a presentation. We all have to do our individual work. We do it with sincerity. Let's go back to my tea example because it's so simple. I have to prepare a cup of tea. Well, okay, prior to the preparation of it, I need to make sure I should have some fresh organic milk in the house. I should have nice water. I should have a clean pot. The pot should be rinsed out nicely. I should have some nice, fresh, organic, fair trade tea leaves. Right? I mean, you can't make a nice pot of tea if people are being suppressed and oppressed in some tea garden somewhere to bring you tea leaves, or if they're being sprayed with chemicals. So we've got all of the different elements of what I know is going to go into a good pot of tea. I've got them all together. Now the moment comes to actually prepare it. In that moment, I need not to any longer be worrying about, did I prepare properly? What's it going to turn out like? In that moment, the only way to make a proper cup of tea is to just be with the tea. whatever we're doing, we have to be present with it. That's why there's all these wonderful meditation practices of walking meditation, eating meditation. Why would they give you a raisin and say, take 20 minutes to eat this raisin and meditate on it? I mean, from a religious or spiritual standpoint, well, why a raisin? What is there that's so godly about a raisin that I should meditate on it for 20 minutes? Well, it's not the raisin. It's, can I actually be present with what I'm doing? How many raisins or rotis have we eaten in our life that we're not present with? How many things do we do in our day that we're not present with? So the practice is to be present. So in your work, we prepare for it sincerely, with integrity, with thought. What's going to be the outcome of this presentation? But then we leave it up to God. Pujya Swamiji says it very simple. He says, you do your best and then leave the rest to God. So my best is in the preparation. I should be ready. And then in the doing of it, I'm just in the moment. I'm in the presentation. I'm not in the hour after the presentation or the 10 hours after or the next day. I'm not in their reaction to my presentation. I'm in that moment so that whatever I'm doing becomes meditation.